100%. How are we looking on the YouTube front? We are still looking. And there we are. Okay. Should be coming through excuse me, everywhere now. Good now, everyone. I hope this broadcast finds you well. My name is Artorius Winchester, Scholar of the Dreaming Glade. And welcome back to, well, I guess, welcome to this little, 1-year anniversary shindig stream that I'm doing. I will, go ahead and forewarn you now. Oh, hold on, I need to move some of my chat widgets around 1 second. There we go. I will, forewarn you now, those of you that are here. I know people tend to make quite big deals out of these, like, anniversary streams. I've just decided to do a Zatsudan instead. Partly because, you know, it's midweek, and, I've got a lot on my plate, and I couldn't really figure out a way to, you know, turn this into some big, you know, 12-hour extravaganza or something. That, and also, I don't think I'm built for 12-hour streams. I'm, like, just about built for 3-hour ones at the minute. So, yeah. I'm just gonna hopefully be, you know, chatting with you guys, about, you know, what we've kind of, done and seen over the past year, what I want to do in the next year, and, yeah, just, you know, hopefully chilling out. For those of you that are here, is the music on this all right? So, like, the BGM there, are we thinking, like, too high, too low, just right? 12-hour sounds insane. No, exactly, yeah. Like, I know some people make some really big deals, being like, I'm going to play all these games, I'm going to have all these people involved, and, you know, it's going to be great and that, but I was just like, you know what? I'm going to have a stream to mark the milestone. It's going to be something I don't do that often, which are like these, you know, kind of Zatsudan just chatting streams. Because I don't, honestly, I could do with a bit more practice at them. I don't think I'm very good at them, but hey, you know, we learn by doing. It sounds alright? Excellent, excellent. But yeah, so I'm gonna just, you know, be here for, I don't know, I can guarantee an hour. Like, we'll do, you know, some chatting for maybe, you know, maybe around that long. Maybe I'm overselling how much I've prepared here to chat about. You know, I can always kind of dive off and do, like, I don't know, a game of poker or something. If, we don't quite reach that. But yeah, no, I thought I'd sit here with a glass of, well, I was gonna say something festive. Not really festive, it's just a glass of whiskey, but it felt apropos to the celebration. And, yeah. But yeah, so, yeah, so I guess is everyone out there doing alright? Like I say, I've had, a busy time of it, myself recently. But it's some stuff I'm busy with just because, you know, that's how life is. Some stuff I'm busy with, because I'm excited to, I guess, announce it here and then show it off properly in the future. Which is weird. Another thing, actually, with the stuff I've been, planned out for this stream, I've really tried to kind of, like, get all my thoughts down so I've got some guideposts to talk off. I just have iced tea. Hey, iced tea is very respectable, that's fair. Do like a good iced tea, actually. I only really normally have it when, like, my Dutch relatives are around, though. But, yeah, where was I? That was it. But again, this is what I mean about, like, not being brilliant at these Zatsu streams, but, we're gonna keep trying, we're gonna keep practicing them. So, yeah, there's some things that I want to, obviously, you know, announce now, show off in the future. I've tried to put these, like, I guess, slides. They're not slides, really. They're just, well, I've called them slides, but that's just, like, OBS things going to be flicking on and off. To kind of walk us through all of that. I wanted to keep it, like, there as a collection of notes. I feel like this is kind of going to accidentally start sounding like some, like, company's AGM or something at the minute, though. Which is not my intention. But I guess I just have a very formal way of speaking. So, yeah. We'll get into this, and, we'll see how it goes. So. First thing, what did I put first? Stuff we streamed the past year, so yeah. Let's take a look back, a bunch of the stuff we streamed. So I've got a couple of lists here. So first off, all the fighting games we streamed. So we started off, I think my very first fighting game stream, like after the little debut thing. Do not go back and watch the debut, by the way. It's a car crash. Yeah, like I'm fully now understanding the things like VTubers how they're like, oh yeah, 1 year on, let's go look at my debut stream. And I was like, oh, I tried to sing in that, but like I was mad nervous, and it did not sound good. Yeah, karaoke, or just I guess vocal streams, not going to be coming back for a while. At least not until I potentially move accommodation. Because I can't rightly get away with it where I am currently. But yeah, after that anyway, so we've had a good helping of Guilty Gear Strive streams. For those of us who still I do still follow the game, even though I don't play it so much anymore, just because I have limited time. But yeah, I believe we just got super confirmed who the next character they're going to be announcing is at the Game Awards. And it's not even the initial leak. There's been a second leak come out because someone released it too early. So, yeah, that's all but confirmed now. If you know, you know. If you don't, I won't spoil it for you. We've also had Street Fighter 6, which I think was, again, the next one along. Well, at least the beta's the next one along. And we're still going strong with that to this day. I've still got a lot of plans for Street Fighter 6 in the future. I want to get Aki to Master. I want to continue Platinum Perfection. Which means sitting down and reworking out Chun-Li at some point, which I'm terrified of, because I don't know what it is about Chun-Li. She just doesn't gel very well with my brain, or the way I think. I do need a proper concerted effort to, sit down and work out what the hell to do with her. To be fair, I guess that's something I could ask at my, locals I go to occasionally. Hey, how do Chun-Li? We did have a Skullgirls stream. Again, I would like to do more Skullgirls streams, but I think to do decently in that game, you have to spend a lot of time, practicing combos and that, particularly for 3 characters, for 3 different characters. If you want to play a trio team, you can't just play a single or a duo, I suppose. But, yeah. It's streams I would like to do more of, but, particularly when I'm trying to keep up with other fighting games, the times in between each Skullgirl stream means I have to basically relearn all the combos for each stream. Which is a shame, really, because Skullgirls is a fantastic game for absolute psychopaths. But it's still fantastic. And, I wish I could play it a bit more on the regular. What else have we got? We did do, I'll get back to GBVSR, because there's some news on that, I guess. But, we did also do a Yomi Hustle stream, and an Idol Showdown stream. Yeah. I've definitely been interested in following Idol Showdown. It's always funny when you see it at big fighting game events some Evo or even just I know the name. Begins with a C, but it's escaping me. It's the one Jabali runs. Yeah, but it's funny seeing it popping up, or at Frosty Faustings or something. Faustings? Never actually been clear on the pronunciation of that. Also, hi, Mauer. Welcome in. Yeah, like I was just saying to Mimi, yeah, we're just having a bit of a chill one. I'm just going to be chatting for, I don't know, roughly an hour. Maybe we do, a round of poker after that. We're not going too big or fancy with this 1 year stream. I'm just doing a bit of a look back, a bit of a look forward to announce some things. And, yeah, I guess, roll on from there. But yes, where was I? So yeah, Idol Showdown's cool. Not particularly the game for me, but, I've dipped my toes in it. Yomi Hustle is a very unique as far as fighting games go. I've classed it as part of the fighting game things here. Because it uses a lot of the same core premises. Premises? Where's the plural of premise? I'm not entirely sure, I don't know, Premtopodes or something, I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, Yomi Hustle might actually, now I'm thinking about it, might be an idea to, bring that in to play a larger role in some other projects I've got going in the future. Yeah. It's an idea I'm toying with, but it links onto something I'm going to come on to later. And finally, the one that I haven't spoken about yet, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. Which I guess should be, yeah. No, GBVS is how it's abbreviated. So, we played a beta stream for that. Now you see, Mao, you've written premises is correct pronunciation-wise, but I don't know if that's meant to be pronounced premises or premises because English is a cursed language. So I'm going to assume that means premises, and if I'm wrong later, it's your fault now. So enjoy that. But yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, Grand Blue. So we played the beta stream for that. I had a lot of fun. I also played it a bit more off stream. When that game comes out in exactly 1 week's time, actually, it'll be out exactly next Thursday. Well, assuming that the time zone's permitting, because it's like, oh yeah, it's out in Thursday in Japan, which means it could be out like Friday, in Old Blighty. The smog wink, yes, thank you. Oh. But, yeah. When that's out, I will absolutely be streaming that. I might even do another week of stream, to be fair, because I know I did that with Street Fighter 6, and I did just, like, a week of streams back-to-back. That sounds like a good idea, actually. Yeah, you know what? Would people be down for, like, a week off streams for Grand Blue Versus? Well, I could just try out a different character each stream? Because I've got a few I'm, like, interested in. Like, obviously my main, my main slice is still Loane in that game. There's, Charlotta is a character I've always wanted to play. I played a bit of Soares, back when he first came out, and he was completely ass. Apparently he's not quite as ass now. So, like, maybe that's a consideration. I have played a bit of Zoe in the past. Grimnir would be fucking sick. Like, I love Grimnir. That's purely because I'm a huge, I used to be a huge Bleeding Shadowverse player. And the line, I am the mad cyclone, still fucking strikes, like, just... I have flashbacks. You don't understand. But yeah. And there's also that new Nia girl who looks like a Persona character accidentally got included in the game. Which is cool, I guess. But yeah, yee, thumbs up. Alright then. Yeah. I'll roll out a week of Grand Blue streams. No problem. So, we'll get that penciled in for, next week then. Maybe do, like, Friday to Friday. See if we can get that going. But yeah, other things we streamed this year. I switched this over. Plenty of poker. Don't expect that to be slowing down, or as I said, we might be doing some of it after this bit of chatting. FTL. We had some really good FTL streams, actually. I've been kind of going back through all my old streams and, like, trying to find, things that might have made, decent clips had I been a bit more, like, with it and together. And, God, FTL had some good moments in it. Yeah, I really ought to revisit that game. Ultra Kill, we did a full playthrough of parts 1 and 2, and I hear they're getting the third part, like, almost ready to release now, so when that comes out, we will absolutely be returning to that. RimWorld, I've been a really huge fan of, RimWorld series, RimWorld series, because it's a very easy game to stream, I think. Like, it's a lot of fun. It gets quite stressful at times, to be fair. But, like, it's a lot of fun to play. And it is one of those games where, like, just one more thing can really help, turn, like, I'm just going to play RimWorld for, like, an hour and a half, 2 hours into, oops, I've passed the 5-hour mark. Because, yeah, had it not been for me starting my streams as late in the evening as it does, I could go just, like, I was talking earlier, like, there's no way I could do, like, like these 12-hour extravaganza streams. Like, if you just put on a new RimWorld save, I totally could. I think that's, like, the one exception to that rule. Like, would it necessarily be great to just put 12 hours of RimWorld out? No, of course not. And I'd have to start being a bit more mindful of, Oh, hype, you need to go back and check out your old Ultra Kill streams. They were good fun, Maui, yeah. Because obviously I appreciate some of this will be a bit before, a bit before you really started watching the channel. But yeah, those are both, I think, some pretty decent streams. You don't mind me being slightly more rusty on the streaming front. But yeah, so Ultra Kill we'll play more of when we come out. RimWorld, that's where I was at, yeah. So, obviously I need to be a bit more mindful, I guess, nowadays of, making sure, because I think what I've done this year so far, particularly looking back at all this, is I've done a good job of getting into, like, the streaming habit. Like, I've established that I enjoy streaming, which is great. I've established that I can put out, you know, streams a couple of times a week, and I can chat to people, which is also great. Now I need to kind of start honing back in on specifically how I refine what I'm doing at the minute, essentially. Because, you know, I've got the hardest part, I think, which is I'm doing it, but can I do it better? Is kind of a lot of my considerations going forward, but that's the future end of this thing that I promise I've tried not to make like a company's fucking AGM, but I don't know, it just happened, so we're gonna keep rolling with it. But yeah, so we got, oh yeah, Armored Core 6, obviously. I think yeah, Mara, you were definitely around for that one. That was a good playthrough, actually, and I'm really glad I got to do that on stream, because I don't think it's a game I would have played otherwise. I'd just been like, okay, yeah, it's like, you know, from the outside I've been like, it's another Souls game. You know, I couldn't really get into Elden Ring by myself. Whatever. But no, Armored Core had a lot more interesting wrinkles in it for me. And it's one of the things where it's like, you know, if I ever got a chunk of time in the future, you know, like maybe I would go back some years away and be like, yeah, I want to replay that again and finally get around to like New Game Plus or something. Like, there's enough bite there that I feel like it's been well worth, certainly well worth my purchase anyway, and, you know, well worth anyone else's. Like, I could definitely recommend it to people. And finally, at the bottom there, we've got our currently ongoing, you know, I guess, variety series, Signalis, which has also been pretty dope so far. And we've actually got more of it tomorrow, at 8 PM. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to playing a bit more of that. I'll level with you. We left last stream on some puzzle about, like, an astrolabe. And it's like, oh, you've got to rotate things to, you know, fit in this lockbox. I still have no fucking clue what I meant to do with that. Like, I've thought about that occasionally. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. Genuinely could not tell you where I meant to draw the answer to that from. But, yeah. It's something. And obviously, one of the other big things we did this year was all our VTuber cocktail streams. So, I'm going to try and rename all of these here and re-show you them all. Oh, hold on, which means I need my handy-dandy frame up. So, back the very first cocktail I ever made. Not quite a year ago, because I don't think I needed some extra equipment in to do these. Such as, you know, the alcohol, but also working out how the hell I was going to do hand cam streams. So our very first cocktail we ever made was the Evelyn Breezer for Mr. Ike Eveland. And also in that same episode, I think we had... stream. We had the Golden Age for Rin Penrose. Two streamers who I do still actively follow and enjoy quite a lot. We then had the Cherry Captain for Pochon Marine. And the Moffolga Fizz, which I caught my watch in this screenshot. This was clearly the Cherry Captain was quite strong, because I was clearly just like, yeah, that's a screenshot. Boop on that one. But yeah, that was the Moffolga Fizz I got to remake, because that was a very interesting cocktail. Oh, speaking of very interesting ones, actually, we have the DMGF for Girl DM, which stands for, you know, I guess DM's Gin Fizz. Maybe it should be DM's GF then. Yeah, I'll keep it as DMGF for now. And... oh yeah, the Daikiri for Pikami. Yeah, that was also a really good drink, actually. It's because the first time, I think that's the first time I got to use this, you can see it in the background, this, like, banana liqueur. That was a very sweet, very nice drink. Great colour to it, too. Liked a lot of things about that one, actually. Ooh. I believe this one was the Gambler's Gift for Nina Kosaka. This was, like, kind of wine, Goldschlager, and, I forget what else was in it now, actually. Another thing I need to do at some point, I might even do it after the stream, kind of a bit of a shorter one, is go back through these streams and, like, re-put the recipes down. Because I've got them all written down, I just haven't, like, recopied them over to the, recopied over to the streams. The Daikiri, yeah, I love the Daikiri. I think, like, That was definitely one of my better days on the naming front. But yeah, it was also a really good drink. Then yeah, we had the Gambler's Gift here for Nina. Wasn't personally my drink, but I could see wine enjoyers maybe enjoying it. It was like, you know, wine with a bit of funk. This one actually I super liked. This is the Trip to the Colony for Kinoko Matango, who's a very soft-spoken Japanese VTuber based around like a mushroom colony. She doesn't get enough people like gassing her up. I love watching her. Like as someone who's like learning Japanese, having her on the background to just, you know, be like very like, you know, quite soothingly and quite slowly like speak in Japanese is very cool. Also, she's adorable. Let's just be real. But yeah. Also, and on the subject of this drink, kind of back on that from the streamer, this drink was really good. I think I had used. You can kind of see it next to Tango's like picture at the top right here. I had to use this like butterfly pea gin, I think it was called, which was this like brilliant like purple color, and then I mixed it with some stuff to make it this very deep kind of like bluey purple. I forget what was in there off the top of my head now, but I remember it tasted pretty good. You know, definitely a win for the gin drinkers in the house. Next up, we had the natural remedy for Sarah's Fauna. Now, I was like, I know, we'll make this a kind of strong, you know, drink. And we'll make it yellow, you know, like the apple she holds. What I want you to realize is that this and the, where was it? Not that one. Yeah. This and the Daikiri were like 3 or 4 months apart. So I've only just realized, these are kind of similar, aren't they? Like, oops. Well, similar in color. Entirely different in taste. I don't think there was any banana in this one. I forget exactly how it was made. I remember it being definitely stronger than the Daikiri. But yeah. It was another good drink. All the same. And yeah, the Regal Rose for Miss Rosemy Lovelock, who personally turned up to stream to give the drink her seal of approval. Source, trust me, this is completely real. And that was a very interesting drink as well, actually. Because it was my first time using, like, rose syrup. Which is quite easy to get wrong, I think. It can very quickly become very overpowering and, you know, make your drink taste like you're just drinking perfume. But, yeah, you know, you mix it with enough lemonade and some other, you know, bits and bobs. That was actually very, very pleasant. And then finally, the last 2 drinks this year, for a total of 12, that we made, were the Siphoned Soul for BS Apricot or Fruit. This is great. I might actually tweak it slightly because of how, like, you know, green it is. I might tweak it slightly and then kind of remarket it as a Christmas drink at some point. Like, I don't know, maybe Siphoned Spirit, and we can like, oh yeah, it's Festive Spirit. Because then it can be the fruit drink, and also it can be this green one that tastes kind of like a Cherry Bakewell, which, you know, it's like, it's desserty, it feels Christmassy. I don't know why, the Disaronno makes it feel a bit Christmassy to me. And, finally, we have the sultry shots for Mimkibus, which is, you know, my first foray into doing, you know... I need to check what you mean about that Rosemy cocktail. Yeah, no, look, everyone else, you know, I've just had a photo at the top, but, for wherever I put... Where did I put that? Yeah, for Rosemy, look, there she is. She's standing right there. Absolutely. Totally came by. But yeah, so the sultry shots for Mim were like my first, oh, it does look very festive, which is fitting for this season. Yeah, no, like this, like, for something I kind of just came up with, I think, because for the, Siphoned Soul and the sultry shots, I was very much just kind of, you know, had a lot less time to plan than, normal. So I kind of winged it a bit. The fruit one turned out really well, and then I think the Mim one, like, still turned out pretty well, but, like, it wasn't quite the, wasn't quite the right colors that I was looking for. I think I need to look a bit more into making these like a bit lighter. Like particularly the purple. Because like if you look at kind of like the purple I was going for on like, so like even Mim's hair, which is like the darker version of that, and then the purple I got, which is like basically red. I think I over-grenadined it. It could definitely use some refining. But we live and learn, and we got, it's still made for some very nice tasting drinks. Which is all very good. So yeah, definitely expect more of those. I'm not going to do one this month, because I think I might take, the kind of Christmas season off, which will take out, obviously, a big chunk of time. But yeah, starting in January, we're going to be doing this again. We're going to be picking more VTubers. 2 a month is what I'm going to commit to. We're making 2 cocktails a month. If anyone has any, particular ones that they want me to say, like, oh, hey, can you make a cocktail for, this, that, and the other? Like, I can keep picking out ones that I know of and that I watch. But, if you want to see, a specific, VTuber have a cocktail made of them, by all means, just, the YouTube comments of the VODs are probably the best way to, let me know of that. But yeah, just go to, like, the latest one, which I guess will be the, Fruit and Mim one, and be like, hey, next time, go and make, go and make a cocktail for my favorite VTuber, Jim, and then I'll look up whoever, like, Jim is and, see what I can do about that. But anyway, so. Ooh, hold on, I need to turn that off as well. That there, and then that there. Right. Another very notable thing, and something I'm very proud of this year, would be the Blood on the Clock Tower streams. So we've had 2 so far, featuring this wonderful assortment of people, who might be in various degrees of not being quite up. Actually, I guess they'll all be up yet, but they might be in, like, work and that, because American time zones. Yeah. All of these people I have linked in the YouTube description for this, VOD. You should totally go check them out. Because I think all of them stream, or some of them are getting back into streaming at some point, potentially. But yeah, they are all very cool people. And they made the Blood on the Clock Tower, they turned up on time for both the Blood on the Clock Tower streams. They made them a reality. Expect more of this, probably with this group again. I might, see if I can add some more. I'd personally love a Kobo. A Kobo cocktail would be so good, actually. Something blue with some sugar on the rim for sea spray. Yes, I like that, actually. Okay. And yeah, no, I'm writing that one down. Hold on. That's gold. Next cocktail stream. Kobo drink. Blue with like a sugared rim. It could be salted as well, I guess, for the same visual effect, but Kobo's sweet. She isn't salty. Although, the thing about Sea Spray is that she's a rain shaman. So, like, And if you're doing Sea Spray, I guess salt would make sense. So yeah, I could do a sugared or salted rim. Maybe make it like a sidecar-esque kind of drink, but blue. There's options there, though. I like the thought of that. It just, like I say, needs a bit more labbing on my end. But I'll come up with something in January. Yeah, you got yourself a deal there. Because obviously, I'm no stranger to, sugared or salted rims. Would love to see more BOTC streams. Can't watch them live due to time zones, but they were very fun to watch. Yeah, well, there's a couple of things I want to do with them as well. So obviously, like I say, I want to play more with this group. They're a wonderful bunch of people, and I can't sing their praises high enough. And if I haven't mentioned it already, they're all in the down there bit in YouTube. Go check the description, and check them out. I do want to, for the sake of I guess my audience, try and pull the times in so that maybe we do it on the weekend and we finish at midnight, as opposed to doing it midweek and finishing at 3 in the morning. Sorry, my stream delay is so massive that I keep derailing your conversation. Not a problem at all. I think it's just because of how Restream works. Like the YouTube comments, like the YouTube comments coming through a bit later. But honestly, do keep derailing me. It's absolutely fine. Like this is a just chatting stream, and one of the main things I'm glad about actually is that I do have, you know, a couple of people now compared to when I started that will actually chat back to me. Like, I think one of the reasons I've shied away from Zatsudan so much, if I'm being, you know, entirely honest here, is that it's really hard to do just chatting streams with, you know, like 0 viewers on the other end, like back when I started. So by all means, please keep firing those messages at me. But yeah, to kind of get, I guess, back on the like second or third side tangent that I was on something about Blood on the Clock Tower. Oh yeah, expect more of those streams. Expect me to try and rein the times back in and maybe do them on weekends so that they're a bit more accessible so everyone can watch them. I may also want to stir in some new faces, potentially. I'll have to see what I can do on that front. There's no guarantees, but the more friends, the better. And that will kind of line up with something that I, probably what I'm going to spend a lot of, well, what I think I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about anyway, which is our plans for the future. So, this is going to be, like I said, this is going to be a fairly big section. It's also one I'm excited to show off. So, plans for this here future-y bit. Let me just, can I, like, deselect here? Hold on, I know what I can do. There we go. Right. So, first off, polishing up the stream. I've been, you know, doing this very kind of like not haphazardly. That's not quite the right word. But I've been doing this, you know, should we say doing like a very kind of like skeleton run of this for the past year? You know, it's been very bare bones. You know, I kind of just hit the streaming button and I'm there. I don't have any fancy, you know, like intros, outros, transitions, you know, bells, whistles, blah, blah, blah. I only started doing Twitch, you know, what, a month ago, maybe? And, yeah, I do not have the, you know, the usual Twitch integration things that I see a lot of other streamers have. So, I'm going to invest a bit, I'm going to treat myself into polishing up, some various elements of the stream. So, I have someone, potentially lined up to do myself some nice intro and outro kind of screens. So there's a bit of a buffer, and I don't have to do that whole, you know, like, is YouTube on yet? No, 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 yes, kind of thing at the start of every stream. Don't expect any of this until, like, I think next February, honestly, at the earliest. But, yeah, we're going to get some more of the bells and whistles on. We're also going to have some emotes. I have commissioned, in fact, like, I'll probably just say this, but I have, in fact, commissioned Mimi to go make us some custom emotes for the stream. Which, yeah, I'll be excited to reveal more once we've done more, but like, I've sent the initial design docs across to Mimi and the person doing, the kind of, backgrounds and that. Congrats, my friend. 1 year is quite a milestone. Thank you very much, Blamed. Thanks for stopping by. In fact, hold on, if I can wind back a bit, I was actually just, thanking you over here as well. So yeah, thank you as well for being part of that year and for turning up for my Blood on the Clock Tower streams. Hi, it me. Yep, it you, Mimi. It's yeah. Where was I? Emotes. That's it. Yeah. So Mimi's gonna be working on some emotes for us. It's gonna be good. I also want to at some point get some custom like background music done because this kind of, you know, free one I found, it served us well. Like, this and the Valhalla soundtrack for the cocktail streams have been fine. But, there's, no problem, we'll do again. Yeah, well, I sure hope so. I'm looking forward to doing some more, Blood on the Clock Tower streams, in the new year, probably, at this point. But, yeah, so, yeah, custom music is something else I want to get done. I want to get, you know, the Twitch sorted out properly, so it's not just, oh, I stream on Twitch now. It's more like, you know, there is proper, you know, integration for people doing whatever they do on Twitch. I don't know. I don't really, like, usually use Twitch. I try and use it a bit more nowadays, but I've always been, you know, a YouTube lad by heart, you know, ever since, what, like, 2010? I've been knocking around that site a while. Like, I know it. It's comfy. As opposed to Twitch, which is a bit, you know, what do you mean I can't watch, like, a, you know, a cut-down version of someone's 4-hour stream? I don't have time for that. But also, I feel like I somewhat missed the point of Twitch then, that you meant to just pop in and out, you know, as and when you can. But I don't know. I think mentally I've always just preferred short things, which is a really weird for someone who's done streaming for a year to say, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. That's just, I guess, what does it personally for me anyway. But like I say, I am using Twitch a bit more nowadays. I'm definitely coming around to the idea of it. I've been hanging out in some cool people's streams who are, you know, you never know. Maybe I'll slide over a session and say like, hey, I do, you know, these Blood on the Clock Tower streams. Do you want to come along? You never know. Highlight video for 2023 anyway. Next point on the scheduler. Oh, scheduler? Next point on the this list. It's not really a schedule. So I have actually collected a bunch of clips. Like, I've gone back through, I think, last weekend. If you need any Twitch recommendations, don't hesitate to ask. I like Twitch for its interaction, but discoverability on YouTube is pretty good. Yeah, well, absolutely blamed. Yeah, I might have to partake of your knowledge there, shall we say. And definitely get some stuff set up. Because there's a lot of stuff I need to get set up on there. Like, I don't, you know, I haven't got any, like, I haven't even got, like, the panels underneath the stream, which I guess I need to get some, like, some little bits of art for. But there's also the, like, I've no idea, I don't think ads are running on that. But, like, they could have been, and I could just be horribly mistaken. Yeah, I'll definitely need someone to, you know, give my, well, someone to help me step through my Twitch top to bottom. But yeah, highlight video for 2023 anyway. I've got a bunch of clips together. I do not have the time to edit them is the only thing. So I'm currently kind of trying to look around for an editor that would do me like, you know, a 10-minute, you know, best of RT 2023 video. Because I've got some good clips in there, I think. It's... what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, it's something I need to, Nope. Third attempt at that sentence. So, got the clips together. Need to find an editor. Once I do, hopefully that'll be out, like I say, some point in January or February next year. Probably February. So it's not going to quite make the end of the year or New Year like I'd like it to, but hey, thing I know for next year, get this stuff sorted earlier. Speaking of editing, and clips, I guess, shorts but better. I'm going to try and do, at least one short every couple of weeks, I think. Maybe, you know, maybe ideally I want to do one once a week, but I don't want to feel like I'm having to, like, you know, pressure my streams to be, like, unnaturally clippable. Like, I like kind of the very, this is going to sound so pretentious, but I like kind of the authentic vibe I have of just being, you know, a dude who is streaming. I think that's, you know, that's quite, like, cozy in a way. Is maybe the word. It's got a particular vibe which I drive for, yeah. I don't think you get ads until affiliate. If you need an emergency editor, I can spot you. Not the best, but okay. Well, potentially, yeah. Like I say, I've got a lot I might need to speak to you after this. Then blamed. Thanks very much for offering. Yeah, I'll definitely yeah. So I'll definitely see if you can do what I'm looking for here, and if you can, then you'll definitely be compensated for your work. Thank you very much. And then, yes, speaking of the editing front as well, so shorts but better. Try and aim for like one every 2 weeks, maybe one a week if I have some particularly good clippable streams. I'm not going to try and force that. The shorts, I want to try and edit by myself because some of you who've been hanging around the channel for a while might remember I do have a little bit of experience editing some shorts. Yeah, like, there was a series I tried to get going for Street Fighter 6. I'm trying to remember what I called it now. I don't think I've officially gave it a name. There was a series I did for Street Fighter 6 that was, like, going over different... I think it was meant to be different characters. Maybe I got as far as, like, half of Jamie's moveset. Well, I could go over, like, the frame data and where you'd use them in, like, little kind of 60-second bursts. And I think they were really cool. But at the same time, I don't think they were, like, they were definitely, because I tried to, like, batch do them, I think I burned myself out on that very quickly, which is why I got to about the end of Jamie's, and I was like, this isn't so good. And then, obviously, we kind of went a couple of months on later, and the whole how to use Jamie stuff had evolved a little bit. And I was like, these aren't technically relevant anymore, and I don't want to be, you know, like, giving out dud information to people, so I kind of just, took them back down. But it was a good experience, because it means I now know, like, the very basics of short editing, and I can hopefully do a bit more of my own. You know, like I say, going into the new year, that I do want to get started from, like, you know, first week of January, or first couple of weeks, I should say. Definitely see if we can get some, clips going, because shorts, I think, help the channel, particularly on the YouTube side, quite a lot. And, you know, I'm not going to go as far as to say I'm going to put them on, like, you know, I don't know, the TikTok or whatever it is, the kids use nowadays. But definitely on the YouTube side, like, those shorts definitely, had some of the, you know, they were doing some decent numbers for little old me, shall we say. So I think if I can put out some good clips, that'll help us, grow the channel a bit. Which is something I do want to put a bit more of a focus on in this year. Like, you know, I've got a year in. I can start taking the training wheels off now. I've got the basic, rigmarole of streaming. Now let's try and get my name out there a little bit. Yeah, short form content is really popular right now. Yeah. It definitely is. I mean, like, you know, I myself, you know, being on YouTube as I am a lot, do find myself at work just, you know, scrolling through the shorts feed quite a while. Like, I can see why it works and why it's so discoverable, because, you know, it definitely has the like, oh, I'll just watch one more mentality of, like, you know, a good Civ game or something, but for video content. And then, like, I guess on the subject of other content, so non-gaming streams. I did briefly speak earlier about how I'd like to get back into, you know, kind of dusting off my old singing voice and maybe doing some karaoke. Ooh, have a quick way to make short TikToks while using Twitch, but we can talk about it later. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'd definitely like to hear about that as well. It is the platform of all time. Yeah, I've heard some stories about TikTok. Although, do you know what, honestly? I reckon if TikTok, like, just keeled over and died tomorrow, people would treat, like, the people who use it currently would treat it with the same reverence as people my age treat Vine. I think that's just how it is. You know, so I don't, you know, like, I love a good Vine nowadays, because we've been, you know, it's been long enough since Vine died where we filtered out all the crap ones. We've just got, like, you know, the premium gold selection left. I think if TikTok did the same thing, you know, the same sort of thing would happen, and, you know, the people who use TikTok nowadays would be like, oh, you know, it was the best of times, even though it was not always the best of times. You know, something rose tinted glasses. But yeah, back to the another non-gaming stream stuff. So, you know, there's some stuff I wanted to do. So, like, I want to at some point maybe do some karaoke streams, but that's not going to be for a while, because I'm going to need to have moved accommodation and probably retaken some lessons, because I haven't done that in years. And I want to make sure my stuff's up to snuff. Yeah, and I also want to make sure that this mic I'm currently using... Oh, excuse me. I want to make sure this mic that I'm currently using kind of picks me up reasonably well in that regard. Because I think I've managed to configure it just nicely for me talking. As for me singing... not entirely sure about that. You know, maybe I could do with a bit of an upgrade there, just to make sure things sound extra nice. But like I say, I think the equipment comes second to the making sure I've got a space where I don't feel like I have to keep my voice down while I'm doing it. And also, you know, making sure I've de-rusted myself thoroughly. But that's one of the ideas I've had anyway. There's other kind of non-gaming stuff I want to do, like, I had this idea where, like, maybe I've got a pretty good voice for, you know, reading stuff. Maybe I could do some kind of, like, you know, ASMR-esque storytime streams. Not, like, full ASMR. I don't think I'm gonna be going into, like, that super hard, unless there's a huge demand for it, I guess. But definitely some kind of, like, you know, some reading out stuff. Like, you know, some stories and that. Sounds pretty neat. I And if there's any other kind of things that people would really want to see me to do on like a non-game front, you know, by all means, comments this video. Probably a great place to put them. We're all gonna see them. A lot of people like reading streams. Yeah, no, I've noticed, like, there's definitely some that, or there's even some videos on YouTube, like, got the absolute, like, what made me think of this and what I absolutely aspire to be like is, I'm not sure if you, like, personal story times. Kind of, but less about my life experiences and more like, yeah, more like fictional stuff, as you say there. Yeah, because, like, the thing that really triggered this for me is that I'm not sure if any of you have seen, some of the old, like, H.P. Lovecraft stories read by, Wayne June, who is the same guy who plays the Ancestor in Darkest Dungeon, who has a voice built for fucking Lovecraft, and also it's so deep and bassy, and God, I love his voice. Yeah, like, getting that kind of vibe where I'm, like, you know, reading things with the voice that I've got, I think could really go down well. You know, I need to maybe practice, you know, putting a couple of different voices on without, you know, completely wrecking the mood. But, that's an idea I potentially have in the background. It's like, yeah, okay, we could do that if we want to, you know, branch out and do something a bit different for a bit. And, finally, and this is a big one. This final point is honestly part of my reason for starting the channel. Now, how best do I explain this? So, opening the dojo. It's no secret to any of you here, I don't think, that I am very big on my fighting games. I mean, if I just go back to some of the games we played earlier this year, which was like, what? This? Yeah. I play a lot of them, and I'm planning to play a lot more in the future. You know, we've got Grand Blue coming up next year. We've got Under Night, which I completely forgot to mention in the section, coming up next year that I definitely want to play. Tekken 8's coming out next year. I've never played a Tekken game before in my life, really. I mean, I've messed around with Negan in 7 a little bit, but, like, I just found one armored button and continued pressing it. But I do want to give, you know, Tekken 8 a proper consideration. Maybe not a week of, but definitely, you know, I want to put a bit of time into it. There'll be, you know, Project L coming out in, you know, 2020 or whenever. That, you know, I'll obviously be wanting to give a go to as well. So, it's no secret that I like fighting games. It's also, well, maybe a bit more of a secret, but I don't think as much, that I've always wanted to do something that feels, like a unique form of educational content for fighting games. Which, you know, it's not the rarest thing, really. Resources on YouTube and everywhere have got a lot better, from, you know, even like 5 years ago. It's a lot easier to get into them. But what I want to do specifically is, I want to take, you know, a student, or maybe, you know, a small class of students who are streamers. I want to, you know, have them all agree on a game to learn, and just have some streams where I just teach them how to play. Because I think that's one of the most gratifying things you can see in fighting games is, I even did a recent retweet of this on my Twitter. It's like someone playing like Batista and Under Night, I think, saying like, "Oh, I can't do this," and then they like learned how to do it to the background music of like Sororio Days from Gurren Lagann. And yeah, it's the most like uplifting thing. And also it means I get to, you know, kind of drag more people into my really obscure fighting game hobbies. But yeah, I'm going to be on the hunt next year for people who I can teach fighting games to. I'm going to get, you know, like some proper, you know, curriculums set up. I'm going to be playing more of the games that they want to learn, obviously, so that I definitely know my stuff. And I think they're going to be really, really fun if I can get them off the ground. Now, obviously, there's a lot of planning that needs to go into something like that. But I think, you know, you know, maybe even if it's just like 2 students and it's just kind of like a rivalry thing where they've both started at the same time. You know, between like 2, you know, 3, maybe 4. Maybe 4 will be a bit much though. Where like, you know, we have some streams as like, you know, kind of a group class. Some streams where it's just like, you know, me and, you know, one of the students and give them all like, you know, one-on-ones every now and then. Sounds difficult to organize, but always like watching tutoring streams, video content for other competitive games. Right, yeah. It's always like nice to see someone who, you know, knows what they're on about, or allegedly knows what they're on about, in my case, like imparting that knowledge to others and seeing them like, markedly improve. There's an old kind of, there's a really, really old YouTube channel that, sort of did this. That I honestly, like, I saw that and, like, I was hooked on their stuff for this. Like, the channel, I know it stopped posting videos several years ago. I don't know if it's still up. But, it was called Super Couch Fighters. And they take, you know, they take various, you know, YouTubers, and they'd, like, you know, they'd set them on the path of, like, teaching them fighting games from, like, ground zero. From, like, knowing absolutely nothing and walking them through all the different, like, you know, concepts and, you know, and, inputs and various other kind of things that, like, come second nature to people who've been playing fighting games for a while. But they were explaining them in ways that, like, made it, like, quite easily understandable and, like, hopefully not too overwhelming. Which, again, maybe I'm rose-tinted glassesing that series myself. But, yeah, they did a really good job of that kind of thing. And that's something I want to kind of bring to the, you know, bring to the VTuber space. Let's find some other VTubers. Let's say, hey, do you want to learn how to do cool shit in a fighting game? Come through. That's, like, absolutely something I want to get going, next year. And it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a fair bit of work. I'm going to have to do, you know, on top of the... It's not going to be early in the year, because I want to get my stream polished up first, so that when I ask other people, you know, it looks like I'm being vaguely professional. And also I want to make sure that I can handle the shorts editing workload on top of what I've got at the minute just fine. But yeah, the dojo is honestly one of the reasons, you know, that idea is one of the reasons why I started streaming. And I very much want to bring it to fruition. It's, yeah, like I say, well, I mean, I'm kind of trying to say without reiterating myself too much, but it's been something I've definitely wanted to do for a long while. And I feel like, you know, after getting my head around, okay, this is definitely how I do streaming. This is how I do, like, you know, kind of networking. Although, to be fair, I could get much better at that. At just putting myself out there and saying, hey, yeah, I want to, you know, meet up and do a thing. Oh, do excuse me, my, phone's going off. Shut up. Don't you know I'm in the middle of streaming? How dare you message me? But yeah. So, you know, I'm going to need to, like, make the connections, finish polishing up my stream, get curriculums laid out, get a couple of people who want to learn the same sort of game. Because, like I say, I can teach, you know, I can teach a lot. Like, I can teach a lot of different games. Because, to me, like, the basics of most games will carry over. Like, even if we get, like, some kind of out there thing, we want a couple of people learning to play Smash, I think Mimi can probably attest. I definitely know a thing or two about Smash. Like, the only, like, biggest weak spot or, like, fear I have at the minute is if I get people who say, like, oh, I want to learn, like, Tekken. Because at the moment, I know fuck all about Tekken. Like, I know it's a cool-looking game. But also, it's definitely one of the ones where, like, you see some of the move lists in, like, Tekken 7 at the minute. And god, that shit looks daunting. Like, why does King have a move list that's, like, 103 moves long and, like, 17 of them are command grabs? No, not even 17, but like 70, even, of them are like command grabs that only have like one specific breakpoint, and then people start showing me flowcharts, and I'm like, dear god. But like, I imagine it's one of those things where like, if you're playing it, it's like, oh, okay, I don't actually like... Fighting games have a lot of, He do be good at Smash, Source, trust me, bro. Exactly, yeah, see, Mimi's got this. Mimi knows. But yeah, always great to tackle those goals you had set up. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, there's a bunch of smaller goals I wanted to tackle before I go and start asking people to like, hey, come on my, you know, stream for X weeks in a row. We'll teach you how to get good at a fighting game. But, yeah, fighting games as a general rule, have like a lot of, like nomenclature and terms and like concepts, which you're expected to kind of use at the same time. I'll have to start practicing your Tekken 8 next year just in case it comes up. Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, in fairness, there's a couple of characters in Tekken 8 that I think, like, look really cool. Like, all the Smash experience I got is getting wrecked by my older sibling and spamming the Kirby rock move. Ah, the classic. The classic Kirby down B. Yep. I know the move well. And I guess I don't mind saying this, but like to elaborate on kind of the experience that I've referred to, like, you know, in chats with Mimi before about. I used to play a lot of Smash. In fact, back in my university days, many years ago, I was actually second nationally in the UK 2 years running. So I know a thing or two. Like, granted, I haven't played in absolutely yonks, but, yeah, I know a thing or two about Smash. And I've played enough other fighting games over the years that I know a thing or two about them as well. Not anywhere near as high tournament finishes. That's another thing I want to do next year as well, so I can add to this list. Let's actually play some blooming tournaments instead of saying, like, I was going to play some Strive tournaments back when I was playing that game, and I never got round to it. I've been meaning to play some Street Fighter ones, but I've been like, oh, I should get to Master first. And I'm still kind of the opinion I should get to Master first with Aki before I hop in tournaments. Just because it means I'm more likely to not go, like, 0-2, which would not make for a very good stream. Or maybe it would. Maybe I can learn. It's an option. Second nationally at Smashing. Hell yeah. I was, yeah. I was alright back in the day. Yeah. But yeah, God, I've gone on about 3 tangents now. Where was I? Oh yeah, that was it. So I think one of the most intimidating things of people coming into fight games is that there's a lot of, you know, nomenclature and, like, concepts and terminology if you're studying it. And then if you're actually in-game, there's a lot of, like, I guess, knowledge checks and also execution checks. That, you know, like, if you don't know about them going in, it can be quite frustrating or, like, overwhelming. So definitely having someone, you know, almost like a personal trainer of sorts, there to walk you through each of those different bits is kind of what I always wished I had, getting into fighting games. And it's what I kind of hope to provide for other people, because the more people I can get playing fighting games, the more people I can have, you know, doing cool stuff, you know, the better I will get by proxy. The golden rule of fighting games is, you know, iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. If you know, get someone invested and they get good at the game, you can then practice against them, they can learn your stuff, you can learn theirs, you both become better as a result. The more people I can do that with, the more people I can, you know, share my interests with, and the better every one of us can become. It's a powerful old concept to think about. But, like I say, it's definitely going to be one of my main goals for next year, but I wouldn't expect to see it until, like, summer next year, honestly. It's far in the future. We need to do, you know, a little bit of polishing up this this kind of ragtag stream. Best way to learn something is to teach it. Absolutely, yeah. And, you know, look at hell, there's definitely some parts of my knowledge I could do with reinforcing, or, you know, maybe some questions someone from a newer perspective could ask, and I could be like, well, yeah, why does that do that? Or, you know, do I specifically know why, you know, how this works or why it works the way it does? You're absolutely right there, Blamed, yeah. But yeah, it's a plan for the mid-future, but we're going to be, you know, like I say, working on that polishing up the stream stuff first, getting everything in order. Yeah. I guess the only other thing I wanted to do, and I haven't really got a slide for this, is, obviously, I've done this little kind of like, you know, chatting stream, for my 1-year anniversary. I know people generally make a bit of a bigger deal with these. I don't want to feel like I'm shortchanging those of you who are here. And thanks to all of you that are here, by the way. Like I say, I'm only I was kind of bringing this up earlier, but it's only possible for me to do these just chatting streams nowadays because I have people in my chat now. When I started, that was not a thing, and I was terrified of Zatsudans. I'm still kind of terrified of Zatsudans, I'm not gonna lie. But I have people that I can actually talk to in chat now, and I can bounce ideas off of, and it's great. I love you guys being there. Genuinely. It's a lot, you know, even if there's only one of you there, the difference between 1 and 0 in this kind of a game is huge. So with that in mind, I don't want to feel like I'm shortchanging you by just giving you this kind of like 1-hour rant and then being like, okay, see you next year for like another one. So if there were like, you know, a 1-year anniversary kind of event stream that you wanted me to do, has anyone got any ideas? Because like, I was thinking maybe at some point in the new year, I could do a stream where like, I have a long, like, marathon of, all the, like, all the fighting games I've played, and I could do, like, okay, I've got to win, you know, like, one set each, or I've got to play each one for an hour. Maybe I do that, like, I play each fighting game for, like, an hour, just, like, hitting up ranked, and then I track my wins and losses, and if I lose more than I win, then I have to do some kind of, like, Batsu game or something. I think that could be, like, a cool idea, of, like, a fighting game themed, like, 1 year anniversary. Like, obviously I don't have time to do it really this side of Christmas, but, you know, as, like, a new year, kind of, like, starting off 2024 with a bang type thing, I think that would definitely be cool. So, I mean, what do people think if I float that idea? Like, are we yay on that, or is there something else people would like me to do? Because I'm very open to suggestions here. Like I say, it's certainly something that, you know, I think could be, funny. Like, if we have... Because what would that be, like, an hour for Street Fighter? I'll do an hour for Skullgirls, because I think you can still find matches on that. Every loss equals X amount of IRL exercises. Ah, the classic, I'm gonna become mad buff by doing this. I mean, to be fair, in a way, that's actually really smart, because if I get, like, mega tilted from a match, then, like, going and, like, doing some press-ups or something is absolutely, like, a great way to, like, you know, relieve that. That sounds fun. Yeah, okay. That's definitely something I can try and factor into next year, then. So if I make it a big event as well, you know, maybe that can be people's gateway into, fighting games. I would love to see, if possible, a combined cocktail plus fighting game stream. Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah. How would I do that? I mean, I guess I could try and make some cocktails based on fighting game characters. Like, it was a special, like, extra cocktail stream at some point. Yeah, maybe I can just do, like, my mains. So I can do, like, an Aki cocktail and a Jacko cocktail. Yeah, with cocktail... Okay, yeah. I could definitely do, like, a cocktail for each game I've had a long-standing main with. So that would be, what, like, Jacko for, like, Strive, Aki for Street Fighter, or at least at the minute, in fairness. A couple of months ago, that was Honda for Street Fighter, but, that was a pre-Aki world. At the moment, it would be, Luane for Granblue. Although that might change, because like I say, I'm going to do a week of Granblue streams, trying to work out who exactly is going to be my main there. Luane will always be close to my heart, because he's such a silly fucking goober. But, yeah. That's, you know, like, a main from Granblue as soon as I work it out anyway. I could even do DDD for Smash, but obviously if I'm going to stream Smash, then I need to actually get the capture card and all that sorted. Make the specified cocktail and then play while sipping on it. I mean, yeah, in which case, I'll probably limit it to 3 games, because I tend to make cocktails quite strong. Purely because, honestly, I'm kind of lazy, and, you know, I could make 10, you know, weak but nice tasting cocktails, or I could make 2 strong but nice tasting ones, and have to make way less drinks and do way less, Maybe another stream where you talk about your fighting game origin story, like what made you get into them. That would be that would actually be a great first stream for the dojo, like maybe a kind of like a showing my credentials kind of thing. And explaining kind of where I'm coming from a teaching standpoint, because obviously, you know, like, I think some of the, like, super pro fighting game streamers have been, would love to see the Smash come back at some point in the future. I might just do it, you know. I might just dig back into Smash and see how much has changed. From what I hear, like, Steve is completely fucking broken at the minute. But, you know, we'll work it out. What is it, like, Steve, Kazuya, and the, like, Pyramithra are, like, giga busted? But, you know, we'll see what a lowly out-of-practice DDD main can do. But yeah, there's definitely, like, going back to the kind of fighting game origin story idea, that's definitely something I could do on the very first stream. I could do, like, maybe another just chatting thing like this and just showing kind of, like, where I'm coming from. Because obviously I don't have the same pedigree as, like, there's been some officially sponsored by Capcom streams, actually, where they've been getting, like, pro fighting game streamers to teach, like, big-name VTubers. So obviously there was, like, I think the most prevalent example was, like, the Raccoon Cup, I think it was called, where like they had Korone and Shishiro of Hololive in it. Which like they were really good fun to watch, to be fair. Anyone who hasn't seen them, or at least the clips from them, I like it is insane seeing Korone go. In that it's great. And then what else was there? Oh yeah, so like that's what I was saying. Yeah. It's like I might not have the same kind of pedigree as like, oh, I've won X many Evos or whatever, because I am but a humble man. But I still don't think that means I can't teach people. You know. No one says that, you know, to be the greatest sports coach ever, you have to have been the greatest in the sport. I think there's definitely some room for maneuverability there. And I've got enough of a pedigree where I know what I'm doing. So, yeah, maybe explaining that could be a good idea. Well, it's all very good ideas to consider anyway. And thank you very much for your suggestions, everyone. It is greatly appreciated. For now, though, I think I might actually just call stream here. I was debating whether I wanted to do a bit of poker afterwards. But, you know what? I think I might just, I hate to leave, but I got class. Have fun with the brainstorming. Well, thank you for showing up, Blamed. I will be back in contact with you at some point, about the editing and the setting up Twitch stuff, for sure. But like I say, I might also be off here as well, to be fair. So you picked a good time to do that. So, yeah. I think I'll just keep this one short and sweet. I will say thank you again, everyone who's turned up. You know, you're the entire reason why this stream and all of the other future streams are going to be possible. Yeah. I will endeavor to keep making content that is, you know, first and foremost I want to make, but also is entertaining for you guys. So yeah, I will catch you in a bit. Farewell.